Hi everybody, welcome to the Astrology Chat for July 9th, 2024. So the keys for today are just to let yourself be open and receptive to what the divine is saying to you today. This week has a lot of very emotional, triggering energies, and not triggering in the sense that it's bad, but there's a lot of subconscious energy that's going to come to the surface today where you're going to see where what you didn't think mattered, and where you realize what you thought mattered a lot actually doesn't matter that much for where you're going anymore. And I say that because today we have the moon in Virgo. The moon is in Virgo at 9:47 a.m. The moon is currently void in Leo as I'm talking about this. And while the moon was in Leo, it made a sexy square to the north node that says, pause for a minute. It's time to reconsider how we're interacting with our own self and with the other people. A square to Uranus that says that there's a wild card here. There's something unexpected in the day that's coming up that, while it may not be something you planned for, it's something that the divine planned for you. And then we have a quincunx to Neptune that says you're just not quite sure where things are coming from. And this is where it's going to be really important to step back, receive, and observe. And not observe in the sense that you're detached from yourself, but observe from the sense of, okay, this is where I used to be, this is where I am now. I'm not really sure how I want to wiggle out of this, but I do know that a change is necessary. Then when the moon moves into Virgo, it makes a quincunx to Pluto retrograde. And that is really where that subconscious is coming out, right? A quincunx in its nature is something that you don't quite consider. And Virgo loves to organize, it loves to have things in order, it loves to know the details. And with Pluto retrograde coming into the mix with the house of Virgo, they're saying there's some details, there's some factors that you weren't realizing are at play here. And they're coming to your attention not to say to you, oh, you're powerless, but to remind you that actually you can adjust, you can make changes. You do have deep shifts in who you are and what you believe, and that's naturally and should change how you act on a day-to-day interactions. We also have a semi-square with the sun, so there is especially this is sun in Cancer, right? So there's a disconnect with how you feel and what makes you feel at home, but what you need to do to make changes so that you actually feel at more home at your life, right? It's kind of I've always loved having this purple blanket with me. And it was a great blanket, and I love this blanket, and I brought it with me everywhere, and it made me feel safe. But now this blanket's getting really dirty, and it's dragging, and it's getting in the way. So am I going to let go of the blanket? You need to let go of the blanket. I hope that makes sense to somebody. And then we also have Jupiter in a sextile to the nose. And so there is this great expansion of where, as you are reaching towards yourself, where you're understanding yourself, where you're re-examining your philosophies, letting the changes that you've had with who you are and what you associate with influence you, also taking you away from what no longer serves you, you're going to have some really unexpected surprises. And that could be something that happens with other people or just something with yourself, but both are important. So let yourself stay open, let yourself stay aware, and let yourself continue to evolve. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.